This is a review of the Laowa 15mm f4.5 wide-angle macro lens. Now this is an updated version of the original Laowa 15mm wide-angle macro lens, and this time around there are a lot of great improvements. It's smaller, lighter, and is generally optically better. It also comes in many different camera mount tastes, from Z, EF, RF, E, F, and even L mount. But for this review, I will be using the Z-mount version, attached to a Z8. So in this video, I will firstly go over the build and ergonomics, and then I'll jump out into the field and put this lens to the test with a mixture of photography. This new lens comes in at 308 grams with a build quality that seems to be metal. It's just a nice and refined look, and a lot nicer than the original. There's only a focus ring on this lens, which feels quite smooth, but not too tight. It is quite accurate when turned as well. But the big thing with this new version is the fact that you can now change the aperture in camera. This obviously reduces the size and weight, and being able to do this is actually really nice and convenient. Because of this, this lens now records XF data. But this is only available for the Z, E, and RF versions. Now the magnification. With the original 15mm, 1:1 magnification had an impossible 4mm working distance, and so I never really shot it at 1:1. Honestly, it just wasn't worth the hassle. So I would mostly shoot just under that at around 0.5 times magnification. This new 15mm has a max magnification of 0.5 magnification, which makes it more practical and manageable. It's not 1:1, but wide enough with enough magnification to get some great images. To achieve this focal distance, the minimum working distance is a decent and workable 129mm. Now how does this lens compare optically to the original? The original 15mm had a bit of chroma and wasn't always that sharp in the middle. This new lens, however, is fantastic. It's sharp across the board, the chroma is limited, the colours are great, and honestly, it's what you'd expect from a modern Laowa macro lens. If you enjoy sun stars as much as I do, you are in luck because they are quite decent with this lens, helped by the 5 aperture blades here. Stars appear around f5 and up. Also, there's 2 really great additional add-ons here as well, such as a 62mm filter thread and a USB-C port on the underside here, which indicates that there may be planned firmware updates down the track. And finally, the price. This little beauty will set you back US $399, which, considering the quality, is an absolute steal. But enough words, let's now go out into the field and put this little fella to the test. So I'm in my backyard and I'm going to focus on this shrub here. This is a bottle brush tree. This is a native Australian tree. There's many different versions, but this one is called a dougal. But birds and bees love it. It has these strikingly red flowers that are full of pollen, full of nectar, and they just cannot get enough. So what I'm going to do with the lens today is I'm going to try and get some close-up shots of bees in the environment. I'm trying to get some low-angle wide shots, trying to get some sun stars in there as well. I'm using a flash that I may or may not use in some shots, and that is a very cheap Godox TT300, and the diffuser here is a Velo softbox. Very small, very lightweight. I found if I use a bigger diffuser and a bigger flash, it can sort of creep into the image because this is such a wide-angle lens, but this small setup is really, really light, really nimble, and perfect with a light, nimble, small lens like this. So I'm going to get cracking on this, see what I can get. So the sun is directly above me here in this angle, so I'm going to be shooting this way here. They're more on the top, which is okay. I may get a bit of a fence in the shot, but that's fine. All right, going to be shooting at around f8, shutter speed of 1/200 and an ISO of 250. Seems to be the perfect macro settings that I just don't change for any shot. Here we go. Okay, so I've just taken the flash off here and just going with natural light. Allows me to crank up my shutter a lot faster. And I'll just open the aperture up, maybe about a 6.3. So I have a shutter about 2000 and a f-stop of 6.3. Nice sun stars here. So I might just move around a little bit because the sun has moved and they're all more on the top anyway. So let's try that. So I'm shooting on a burst. I'm shooting about 10 frames a second here with a fast shutter, and it seems to be working a lot better. I had to bump my ISO up, but it's more effective this way. Just just got to wait until they get out. A lot of it is just waiting, a lot of patience, and then knowing when they're going to take off and then just blitzing it. But I just love the look of this wide angle up close with the environment going on, the sun start kicking on. They're just really visually striking images. Now I'm just pretty much carpet bombing this at the moment. If you maybe took your time with it and slowed down a bit, I think you can get some really cracking shots. But even just, you know, just fire and forgetting in here is turning out some really nice images. I love that shot with the backlit wings, and the wings are just sort of these golden sort of angel wings, fairy wings, I don't know, it's just really cool. Okay, I thought I'd bring my screen recorder just to show you what I'm actually seeing with this lens and the settings I have, instead of me just trying to describe it. Alright, so I'm just going to do some low shots looking up here. Try and get some sun stars, of course, and then bees flying through. Easier said than done, to be honest. There we go, that's what I want, that's cool. Now I'll come around and do the same shot just from this angle. It's tricky to get everything in line, sun stars and the rest. Even that's a quite a cool shot. Alright, so I want to get one shot that's a bit closer, sun star B. That's a cool shot. I do like that. I do like that. Now this is just a sort of an idea of what you can do with a lens like this. Now you might be more comfortable shooting close-ups and portraits and that sort of thing, but I love capturing them in their environment. I think it just brings out so much more behavior, and the images themselves are really, really visually striking and interesting to look at. So much fun to use. So there you go, the Laowa 15mm f4.5 wide-angle macro lens. This is an incredibly versatile lens which, as you've just seen, can be used for many different scenarios and subjects. It's such a worthy upgrade over the original version that I am very tempted to upgrade to this new and improved lens myself. With it being smaller, lighter, and just an overall better experience, I can really recommend this lens. But at the end of the day, it's a Laowa macro lens, so you know exactly what you'll get. Quality at an affordable price. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.